Bienvenue à tous, merci de votre participation. Pour écouter notre session en français, veuillez cliquer en bas de votre écran sur l'onglet « Interprétation » et sélectionner le drapeau français. Merci.
On behalf of Ebikes Africa, the African Center for Cities, Our Future Cities, Surge Africa, and the Red Cross Crescent Climate Center, we are delighted to welcome you to the Rise Africa 2024 Action Festival. Rise Africa is a platform that brings together thinkers, doers, and enablers to inspire action for sustainable cities. This is our 4th edition of our Rise Africa Action Festival, which brings together insights, practices, and visions from across the continent under this year's theme of Solutions Only, Failures Also. This year's theme provokes us to change the way we view our cities and approach their development, particularly to promote a solutions orientation to our worldview. The festival invites you to embrace different ways of knowing, to seek ways to bridge science, policy, business, and arts in creative ways. It invites you to forge new partnerships, experiment with new concepts and ideas, and drive change in your homes and communities. This year's festival, we are running a social media storm to share how urbanization is happening in Africa, that cities can be centers of possibility, and how we can inspire action for sustainable African cities. Please share these for the days of the festival, including Africa Day, the 25th of May. As is tradition, we invite you to enter this session in a spirit of creativity.
Hello, my name is Gesha Aletta, and my poem is titled, How Can We Be Afraid of the Light? The hour before dawn rouses the birds. They sing their excitement for the light. We toss and turn beneath our covers. We choose sleeping rather than sight. Without resting, there can be no labor. We need the darkness for a season. When the time comes to turn the light on, we're beside ourselves with reasons. Why we can't turn off the beaten path. Why what it asks is maybe decades or centuries away. Why it's too great to bear the burden that change asks. Why the fire and the light are dangerous because of the trails they blaze. He said, the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. We want change to seduce us boldly, but only with the lights off. How can we be afraid of the light? How can we hide from the glistening of tears? How can we abandon our efforts and failures? How can we be corralled by our fears? How can we be afraid of the light? How can we shy away from smiling with all our teeth? Why don't we bind our wounds with laughter's balm? How dare we bury our humanity beneath? There's a beating heart in every chest, and it's longing for a chance to run towards the finish line, whether it comes first or last. Hearts aren't swayed by competition to cease beating because of the chorus of other beating hearts. When did we become renegades towards this intuition? Perhaps if we stop trying to conquer, colonize, destroy, dominate, is where winning starts.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for making time and joining this session of the Rise Africa Summit. So my name is George Mbugwa, and I'm co-founder and CEO at Ebikes Africa. Ebikes Africa is an electric bicycle company that is changing how people and goods move around urban African areas. I have a background in land administration from the Technical University of Kenya, and I'm well versed in GIS systems, web mapping, land laws, land use and planning. I founded Land Info System in my university years. This was a public web portal that offered official land record searches through the internet. We digitized the data we created, and we created easy ways to crowdsource digital land data sets. I also have a background in finance. I'm well experienced in policy formulation and implementation. I was in the team that drafted the Unclaimed Financial Assets Act regulations in Kenya. I went on to train all financial institutions in Kenya on compliance to the law, and I've built a valuable network of people in the financial institutions and in the financial industry. So again, I'd like to thank you all for making the time. And this session is going to be going over human-centered design for inclusive development. And we're going to go over the Ebikes Africa story. What we have seen so far, our experiences on the ground, and the successes and failures that we have had in our industry. So I'll share my screen. Ebikes Africa is Ebikes Africa began in 2022. We are 2 years old. When we began, we're looking for a solution that is lightweight. We're looking for a solution that is affordable, something that could fit inside people's homes. We're looking for something that doesn't require any third-party charging stations. And we were trying to solve a transportation problem that is seen in very many African cities. Short distances are very expensive and take needless lengths of time to cover. The thing that ticked all of these boxes for us was electric bicycles. Electric bicycles took up very little resources, very little space, and didn't require any extra permits or driving school to be able to take up. The barriers to entry were quite low. So we got the idea in 2018, but we really began working on electric bicycles in 2022. During our first year, we were able to identify suppliers. We were able to identify a very, very beautiful bike that we had designed locally. The bike was a Kenyan design. It's built with an aluminum frame. It's very lightweight. It covers great distances, and it's very affordable to operate. So this here is a picture of our actual bike. It looks very nice. This bike does a range of 80 kilometers, and it covers these 80 kilometers at a cost of 25 Kenyan shillings. This is about 30 cents. So we thought, hey, we have an amazing bike. How do we bring down the cost for more people to be able to afford the bikes? And of course, as a company, we approached our suppliers and we ordered it in bulk. And this was great because it brought down the per unit cost, and our suppliers gave us more incentive to hit the market and make an impact. Right now, our bike costs $750. It has a 48-volt battery and a 13 amp-hour motor. A bike like this in the EU or in the States goes for approximately 2,000 to 2,500 euros. So we're able to build a very high-spec bike at a very low price. When we came to the market, though, our launch market is Kenya, we came to find out that yes, the bike is affordable, but the target market could still not afford it. Our main customers, the people who first took up electric bicycles when we brought them, didn't turn out to be the cyclists or the commuters as we expected. It turned out to be a whole other subsection of people, delivery riders who are doing food delivery. So we had a market of people who had very expensive costs, nearly 30% of their costs were going to fuel and motorbike maintenance. And they were delivering items that were very small. So I'm talking about how you order a burger and fries, they weigh half a kg, and they're delivered on a 150 kilo motorbike. Makes no sense. So when we brought our bicycles to Kenya, the first people who gained immediate economic value from our bicycle, from one of our customers, that goes, my friends are laughing at me because I've switched from a motorbike to a bicycle. But me and my wallet are laughing at them. Our bicycles have a top speed of 45 kilometers per hour. So delivery riders are able to cover the same distances at nearly the same speeds. Usually, orders take place within a range of 3 to 8 kilometers from fast food from restaurants, and this delivery done on an electric bicycle and on a motorbike reach at the same time. We also see less harassment for delivery riders on bicycles. The operational costs are 15 times and also percent the cost of a motorbike. Although we have these people who are making, so our riders even earn more than riders on motorbikes. Even though we have all these people who are making good money from our bicycles, they faced one major problem: the initial high upfront cost of electric bicycles. Yes, our bicycles were relatively affordable, but still, a lot of these delivery riders are aged between 22 to 35, and a lot of them are not involved in the formal financial system. So, um, what did we do as founders and as the team at Ebikes Africa? We immediately started looking for a financing partner. We've built an amazing product. This product is changing lives. It's increasing people's earnings, but still, the people who really need our product can't afford it. We partnered with microfinance institutions, and we came up with um, very beautiful, um, very beautiful offerings where delivery riders could pay a very small deposit, as low as $30, and immediately get access to an electric bicycle. They would then pay a fee of about $2 a day for 2 years or 18 months and get to own their bicycles. Um, Although these offers look very nice and sound very nice on paper, we found that the interest rates our riders were paying were extremely high. The rates were ranging from 40% to 120%, and the repayment periods were also very lengthy. So the lengthier the credit term, the more affordable the payments were made to look. At the end of the day, the only person really gaining from this arrangement was the microfinance institution. And they were gaining whether or not the rider was ill. We looked at cases in the market where people were even banking on the delivery riders failing. When we approached the microfinance institutions, we got hundreds. We got more than 100 requests for financing from delivery riders. And we forwarded these to the institutions, and we found out that from these 100, about 95% of them were ineligible for credit finance because of numerous reasons, starting with they had bad credit history, and most common, they were not bankable. They did not have financial histories, and they did not put their money through the formal financial system. For the 5% that made it, they were asked for 3-year bank statements, and they were also asked to provide guarantors. And don't forget, these are people who are just delivering so that they can make some money on the side. You're going through university, you're doing an engineering degree and you want to make some money on the side to push you through. So they quickly understood that this is them signing contracts after 2 years old. To cater for this market, we had to talk to the delivery riders. We had to push our ear to the ground, involve them, spend time with them, and learn from them. And what we did is we created a delivery service. And this delivery service was centered around putting the delivery rider first, building products around the rider rather than around business model. So solving a problem rather than trying to make as much money as possible. We created a service where we offer delivery riders electric bicycles at no charge at all. Riders come to us, we train them on customer service, we train them on delivery, we train them on KPIs they are expected to meet, we train them on even GPS data, the importance of data, we train them on data protection, we train them on carbon credits. We then assign these riders to businesses. The businesses pay a fee, and our riders are able to earn a fixed salary every day for 6 days of a week. Also, when riders meet all their KPIs, we save part of their salary for them towards them owning their bicycles within 10 months. So riders who work with us get to own their bicycles without taking up any loans, no interest rates, no hidden fees, no predatory lending. We also create an environment where our riders now become bankable. We're creating financial transactions for them and creating a financial base that they can use to grow. What's more, we keep these riders in our ecosystem by keeping them motivated. Every week a rider comes to work, their savings grow. After 1 month of working with us, their savings are about $600, and another month, $600. $60 every month, $60, and they grow month on month. This makes our riders even more dedicated the longer they work with us. Our riders are only able to spend this money within our ecosystem, so they can always grow with the company. When we develop new bicycles, they're the first people to get them. How do we market our service? We market our service as a delivery service for businesses. We onboard businesses. We're offering them 50% cost saving on their delivery. Also, our electric bicycles are fitted with GPS tracking. So businesses are able to see where the riders are. There's no more issue of trying to call the rider and find out exactly where he is. We also offer the businesses a customer relationship management tool where any orders you make for delivery, we will digitize for you, and you'll be able to sort these customers according to different details, such as according to offers, who bought in September, whose orders cost more than 5,000 shillings. We also offer quality assurance, where businesses can expect to get world-class service at a great rate. And this service is the same all the time through those per-minute KPIs that we set for delivery riders. How it works is businesses share details for their deliveries. This is usually the location where the person is. A rider is assigned to the business, and the goods are delivered within an hour. Businesses pay an average of $14 daily, and this gets them more than 10 deliveries a day. So think about it. We're making about a delivery at about $1 for businesses. Now, businesses face numerous problems. we have businesses. We were approached by a couple of people who are interested in taking up electric bicycles. They hear about the cost benefits. They know, it only costs 20 Kenyan shillings to charge a bicycle to full, and that covers 80 kilometers. So they hear all of these great things, but they ask, hey, first of all, I need to run the business. Second, I can't take on some more operations. Another thing is they're already paying so much money to motorbike riders and also delivery apps. So we have businesses here that are paying commissions of, on average, 30% for every order that comes to their platform. This applies to restaurants and a couple of people on the apps. So for a restaurant doing about 40 deliveries, they're paying about 14,000 Kenya shillings, so about $100 every day. 30% of their revenue is going to a third party, and they have no control over their customers. So here we offer the businesses a way to connect to their customers. This is beyond the apps. This is business to customer direct. So an important part of human-centered design is the empathy. And I have got to repeat that empathy is really what drives the conversation when really thinking about how to come up with solutions. You need to understand your users. In this case, for us, it was delivery riders. You need to immerse yourselves in their lives and in the environments. We have done deliveries by ourselves on electric bicycles, and we know what it's like. And when we set these KPIs, these are things that we have experienced. We also use techniques to gather as much data as possible. For us, it has been attaching GPS trackers to our bicycles, because this offers a way where we have locational information even when the mobile phones are off. We also have the per delivery KPIs that we're also able to track, which are location and time based. Another thing is talk to your customers and bring in your customers in the design process. So every week we train delivery riders on these different topics that we talked about. We train them on the customer service, we train them on electric bicycles and electric mobility, we train them on financial literacy, and we train them on carbon credits. And we try every week to also bring in delivery riders who are in the field to talk about actual things that happen to them, what work is like every day in the field. Our second principle when it comes to human-centered design for us at Ebikes is our brainstorming sessions and our collaboration. So whenever we have problems, we are not always able to scale very quickly into those areas, but we're able to leverage through partnerships with other organizations. So we're always looking for partners who can fill in gaps where we aren't strong enough for them. And also a lot of these partners are referred by our delivery riders, who are our biggest customers and also our biggest partners. And then finally, we always prototype. And this is creating a tangible solution. For us, it's always about building the simplest and lowest cost version and iterating very quickly. This is an issue faced by a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of companies, iterating very quickly. So the key thing in HCD is the human. So you've got to put your product in front of the human as quickly as possible, get their views, go back, make it again, and put it back in front of them again, and do this over and over and over. until you get it right. And this is a continuous process. It doesn't start and stop at any one point. Yeah, up to there, I'm gonna ask if there are any questions. Sam, any questions? Okay. So I'll go over some key. Yes.
That's a
Good,
pretty
good.
interesting presentation, and it's very inspirational to see how through human-centered design there is like an equal there's an equal, I want to say, glorification of the customer who are your riders, but also the process of developing the bike and the service. I think my question was around the scaling, because it's a great idea and your riders are your customers. It seems like they're your clients and they're almost like your, I don't know, they're your marketers. In terms of scaling, do you find there's a challenge of marketing this to other people? And is there an opportunity for riders to also create their own ecosystems based on these principles that you're sharing? Thanks.
Hey, Kevin. Thank you for that. That's a very, very good question. And yeah, very good observation. So now here we have a shift in mentality, where the rider comes to us, and at first the rider thinks they're coming to us as a customer, and they're coming to buy an electric bicycle to go and deliver food. They're expecting to pay a loan, and they're expecting it to take at least 18 months. They're also expecting to have default days where they fall sick at some point. They're also expecting to pay a deposit once they sign up. They're also expecting for them to have some sort of favoritism when it comes to selection for work. So we bring in this person and we tell them, okay, Ebikes Africa, right now, the other companies that are, for example, the other companies that are doing the similar thing, where we can tell them, we have an account with a platform. We have an account with a certain app. Please, you come and work for us as a delivery rider, and we're going to pay you X amount of money every day. And that's it. You work with us, you earn some money every day, but you'll never own the tool, your work tool. If you ever fall sick, then you're in trouble. You're not going to be earning anything. Now, we turn this person from a relationship where we are taking away from them, we turn them into, first of all, we're giving them decent work. Secondly, we are giving them savings. And this savings is a tool that we're using to increase the investment in us. And then finally, when we put them with the companies, we're using them as marketing tools because they then are marketing us as our partners to find more and more work so that we can take on more and more people. This person has a cousin that needs some work, they have a nephew. And it's a snowball effect. Another thing is, when riders work for us for those 10 months and they own the bicycle, you can take this bicycle, take it to your hometown, and begin your own delivery business. So we are banking on these riders helping us scale because we want them to come and we want them to bring as many people and have that effect where it grows exponentially. So you take your bicycle to Kakamega, to a certain town, and take Ebikes Africa with you there. This actually ties into my next session, which are the key components of our model. There's a subscription-based financing. This is the financing done by businesses. Businesses are paying a weekly and monthly subscription for riders, and they're also financing delivery riders. Second, we're empowering riders. Third, we are integrating technology, and this is through delivery platforms where even after a rider owns their bike, they can sign up for their bike to be managed by us for perpetuity. A rider can have 5 bikes, 10 bikes, and Ebikes Africa, and keep growing his fleet. And another thing we do is, again, also tying into human-centered design, is we partner strategically with bike shops around the country and around Africa. How we do this is we look for bike shops that have shared the same identity as ours, people who are sustainable, people who have a good audience, and people who appreciate electric bicycles. And we train their staff on how to assemble bicycles, how to maintain them, how to handle any error codes. This offers us a way to grow in different towns very quickly. These centers are called Ebikes Africa hubs. We also give them bicycles to stock and sell. And e-bikes doesn't actually involve, we don't sell any electric bicycles. You'd have to go to a bicycle shop to own one. So when our riders go to their hometowns with the bicycles, then they are also spreading Ebikes Africa through partnering, bringing us partners through local bike shops and also delivery businesses as well. Hey, Kevin, did I get that?
Yes, yeah, thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I want to give you guys an idea for how impactful bringing in riders into our conversation was for us. When we began, we spent months marketing electric bicycles. We visited so many towns and we went to so many hotels. We went to so many businesses and we told them we have this amazing, beautiful piece of technology here that will improve your operation, save you time, bring down costs. But we faced, first of all, we faced a lot of misconceptions, and we faced an awareness problem that we had not expected in the first place. The problem where in a lot of African countries, bicycles are equated to poverty. So, first of all, you're selling somebody a bicycle, you're saying it can help with these these few, things. And the bicycle costs $750. And they just don't understand. What do you mean, a bicycle for $750? In our Kenyan shillings here, it's a bicycle for 100,000. People don't quite get it. So to bridge the awareness gap, the delivery riders were there. The delivery riders were, once the first few people started getting the impact of bicycles, then the demand started coming. And in the span of about a month or two, we moved from nearly 10 inquiries, say 10 inquiries a month, or about 20 inquiries a month, all the way up to nearly 100 inquiries a month. So we reached a point where we have more than 140 delivery riders looking for electric bicycles. And these are people who receive direct impact from this and then go ahead and make even more impact with the bicycles. We also see the network growth through bicycle shops and through cycling enthusiasts. We've also seen delivery riders approaching us with different pathways to entrepreneurship. They've come up with new ownership models that we couldn't have thought of. And we've been able to grow our training program for riders, offering opportunities for career advancement on top of just being a delivery rider. Some community benefits we've seen is, of course, reduced carbon footprint. Each of our riders is reducing about 1 ton of CO2, 1 to 3 tons every year, depending on the mode of transport that they're offsetting. And we've seen quite an uptick in electric mobility and electric bicycles in particular, especially here in Nairobi. Every day, we get more and more rider testimonials, and our community initiatives are also growing. These community initiatives are being begun by riders and businesses, and it's very nice to see other people at the forefront um, who are driving the impact for us without us having to push them. Some key challenges we have faced are the financial constraints. Again, our bicycles cost $750. So right now we have 620 bicycles in Kenya. So you could quickly do the math, 620 by 750. It's a very asset-heavy, expensive business. And the initial high upfront cost and also the infrastructure costs that we need to set up have been significant barriers for our quick growth. But the more and more bicycles we put out to the riders, the more this comes down also. Another thing is funding access has also been a big problem. Finding access in the African market in the last 2 years has been quite tough. And also, financing has also been very expensive. So usually, again, the interest rates range from 40 to 120%. And this is very, very, very expensive. We have commercial bank rates at around 18, and this is still quite high. A new issue we have seen is also currency fluctuations. And yeah, especially in the Kenya, Nigeria, and in quite a few markets in Africa, around the world, currency has been a big issue. Also, so those are the financial constraints we've seen. We have some infrastructure limitations. First has been bike-friendly infrastructure. Not too many African cities are bike-friendly. There are some initiatives, for example, the UNEP Share the Road initiative that does bike lanes in cities. It's really done a lot of work in Nairobi, Mombasa, and 9 other African cities. So this is slowly improving. Remember, at Ebikes, we're making a goal that within 5 to 10 years, bicycles will be the preferred mode of transport in African urban areas. And we're banking on that. And infrastructure limitation has also been maintenance facilities. We're getting over this through training more and more technicians everywhere that we go. Cultural perceptions has been also a limitation, stigma around cycling, also the awareness and acceptance. And finally, operational challenges and regulatory environment. So that covers most of it. Just to give you guys some ideas on where we see the future going. For e-bikes, we are currently looking to go into the markets of Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Uganda, also Ghana. And our goal is to have 5,000 electric bicycles deployed over the next year. We're also looking to have electric bicycles be a well-used mode of commuting in certain areas in East and Central Africa. Our long-term goals, of course, sustainable development and to create ecosystems around bicycles. That covers everything for this session. I'll open the floor to any questions.
Hello. Thank you so much for the presentation. It's such an interesting concept and seems to be like such a win-win for like a whole range of people and businesses and I just wanted to find out where the bikes are actually made, because I think you said in the beginning it was your you iterated, came up with the actual bicycle design. So I wanted to find out where it was made and how you managed to get it so much cheaper than the models that are available in Europe and America that you mentioned, were like almost more than double the price.
Hey, Ruby. Very, very good question. The bikes are made in, the bikes are designed in Kenya, first of all. The bike we have now is the fifth version. We built this bike about 5 different times, different ways as well. The bikes come from 4 different countries. The parts come from China, Japan, Singapore, and India. All the parts are brought together in China and shipped to Kenya. We then assemble the bikes locally. One way we were able to bring down costs was, first of all, very, very strategic partnerships. So our bike is made by one of the largest bicycle manufacturers in the world. And I will not mention their name here, but they do, okay, you can still kind of find them out. They do some really world-class bikes. They do some really good bikes. So we were able to partner with a supplier who can provide us the best quality and the best quantity at really good rates. Also, this was a partnership that gave us huge amounts of knowledge. It leapfrogged us in terms of research and development by years, decades even, because we're starting out in 2022. Electric bicycles are quite expensive to develop, manufacture, and sell. So having a partner who's been in the industry for decades really did bring down those costs. I've got to say, go to the source always. And I like to challenge people. If you're going for a particular thing, dream bigger, like 10 times whatever you wanted. You've got to really get the numbers in if you want to have a huge impact. So we're looking to impact about 1 billion people all across the continent over the next about 25 years. We're trying to get 10 million bikes on the road in the next 10 years. So we began with 700 bikes, and it might seem a lot, but it's not really much. In Kenya, we have 20,000 motorbikes being done every year. So, having 500 bikes, 700 bikes, woohoo, but we can do much more. So we're working to even bring those costs down more and more and more and more. each year. Another thing, I don't know how clearly this came out over the presentation, but here we have our bikes going for $750, and we have our delivery riders who we're saving money for. Even after the 10 months, when these riders are still working within our ecosystem, we're still saving money for them. So in the future, our bikes will be even more discounted. Also, any income we make from the sale of carbon credits goes to discounting our electric bicycles. Okay, that means that in a year, in 5 years, our bicycles are going to get so cheap, like very affordable and available for everybody.
Thank you for answering that. I saw Kevin ask a question in the chat. So I'll wait because I want to ask something else. Oh, is it fine if I ask? Okay. So I was thinking about how you were saying like that once people own their bike, then they could go to like another village or another city, whatever, and start their own bicycle delivery business. But that wouldn't be competitive to you because you own this sort of technology of the bikes, right? Because you've designed the bikes. So it's like for you, it's kind of a win-win because the more people use your bikes, the better.
So we have created a platform. We are still working on it every day, where businesses can be able to do deliveries on either through website or through a mobile app, or even through just Google Chrome. So we're looking at our riders spreading our network, so going to other cities and signing on more and more businesses. Once the rider owns the bicycle, then they earn more from their bicycle, but they pay us a small fee to use our service. This is very similar to the platforms. It's like Uber Eats and Glovo, but without the expensive fees.
Thank you. Okay, that makes sense.
Hey, George, I wanted to ask, could you just explain a little bit more around how you go about the carbon credit savings and how do you track them?
Okay. So I'm not a professional on this topic. I can only talk about our experience. This market is still quite new in Africa, and there are different ways you can do it. How we do it is, first of all, through a lot of recording. We engage with professionals on this subject. Our partners in particular are South Pole. And we collect as much trackable data on the offsetting that our bicycles are doing. We're able to get that data currently through the onboard GPS trackers on the bicycles that tell us how much CO2. We then use a simple formula that tells us how much CO2 is being prevented. When we sign up our businesses, we also check what mode of transport we are replacing. So some businesses are moving from petrol motorbikes to electric bicycles. Others are moving from lorries to bicycles. So we use that information to find the exact amount of emissions we are offsetting. Yeah, and then use partners like South Pole to then list these credits on international markets.
I had another question. Sorry. I feel like it's me and Kevin asking so many questions. We're going to start Ebikes business in South Africa. Um, I wanted to ask about the backpack. So like the riders obviously have a backpack, right? That they carry the deliveries in. I don't know if that's the technical term, but the thing that they carry the delivery in. Do you provide that as well? And do you sell the advertising space on the backpack?
Wow, Ruby, you should be working for Ebikes. Yes. All riders get the delivery backpack, although it's dependent on the business they're working for. The backpack is usually for restaurants and some bakeries. So um, for us, we have some Velcro where we can swap the branding on the backpack. So if a rider today is working for Ruby's store, it has the Ruby branding on it. And tomorrow, when they're working for KFC, it has a KFC branding on it. The businesses pay extra for this, but they only pay the fee once. At the moment, we aren't charging for this advertising space, although we have started experimenting with this. But it's a great value add for the businesses because, again, it helps them connect to their customers. And remember, when the delivery rider comes to work for you as a restaurant, for Ruby's retailers, then they become the company's first customer success agent. They're basically your representative to the customer. So, offering a way for businesses to affordably brand their delivery guy is a big plus for us. And yeah, we aren't selling that space yet.
Okay, so if you start selling the space, you'll have to come to me. I'm just joking. Cool. No, that's interesting. It's interesting that they pay a little bit extra to have their branding on the backpack. And also, I guess the GPS tracking also helps you to know like if the drivers are driving well, because you also wouldn't want to like brand your and if the bikes look good and stuff, because I guess businesses wouldn't want to brand something that doesn't look good or something like that.
Exactly.
Keeps
Also,
the standard up.
The GPS trackers also help us in usually with the platforms. Whenever a rider doesn't want to work or they want to do something fishy, they just put off their GPS position on their phone or go offline. So the GPS trackers on the bikes help us because the riders are always online. We always know where you are and what you're doing, and we can overlay data. We can overlay data from different riders according to speed. We can create cycling maps. So these are things we're working on. Creating cycling maps of cities, coming up with, yeah, we can do so much with that data.
Yeah, there really is so much potential. Can I ask one more question? Are you very interested in cycling? Just personally, like, is that how you got into this, or is it more like you recognized a need, and now you've become, now you enjoy it? Was it something you always were interested in?
I was an avid cycler. I was a really good cycler when I was younger. However, I did become busier and a bit more lazy as well. So the this whole issue came out of seeing a need in transportation, not necessarily a need in cycling. I used to live and work in a very beautiful coastal town, and work was about 10 kilometers away. And it took me every day about 3.5 hours on average, 2 hours to go to work and an hour and a half to come back home for a 10-kilometer trip. So it also cost me nearly about $3.50 every day. And according to African standards, that's really crazy because a lot of people are paying about $1. So it cost me about 4 or 5 times transport costs per day. Another thing is the town I lived in was very beautiful, but people couldn't explore it without a car. You have to have a car, and transport costs were very expensive. They really piled up. We move around by tuk-tuk. It's on the coast of Mombasa of Kenya. It's called Diani. So this came out of a need to fix a transport problem, and also to fix it for everybody in the most affordable way that can be done. Yeah, I sometimes I think um, I might have turned into I'm an e-biker, not really a cyclist, but I'm an e-biker. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's so interesting. I can't believe that a 10-kilometer journey can take 3 hours. That's like, yeah, when you think about it, it's like actually such a crazy waste of time. So do you have an e-bike and do you use it now to get to work?
I am the biggest e-bike fan. Yeah, I have an e-bike, of course, one of ours, and I commute to work. My commute is about 12 kilometers, and it takes me 40 minutes. So riding on an e-bike is faster than taking a cab. It's also more affordable than taking a bus because I charge twice a week, and that comes to around 30 cents worth of electricity every week. So my transport costs come down from nearly $25 a week to 30 cents. Yeah, also my life is much better. Oh my goodness, the views really make my commute enjoyable. I enjoy going to work more often. I love going to work these days. Another thing is I feel much healthier because even though it's an e-bike, you can set the level of resistance depending on whether it's a hill, whether you're on a flat surface, and I wouldn't have seen myself cycling up a hill, but then now yeah, I'm able to explore. Also, when it comes to the personal front, e-bikes really open up your world. Usually, when you're commuting by regular means, it's usually what's your shortest, quickest way I can get there. So Google Maps, show me the shortest, quickest way. But then now you have an e-bike and you can explore all around your home area. It really opens up your world to places you didn't even know existed. And it's been generally an amazing experience. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, you're really selling the cycling life.
So there's a question here about how do we incentivize the setting up of charging stations with other businesses in the ecosystem? So, great question. For charging stations, first of all, the bicycles can charge at any 3-pin socket. So all our delivery riders have chargers. They charge in around 4 hours, and that gives them the 80-kilometer range. And then another thing is during the day they can also swap out their batteries for fully charged batteries. And this is through we have batteries strategically placed at different businesses. We're also working on swap lockers, automated lockers where riders key in their phone number, and at one time an OTP message is sent to them, and they're able to get a fully charged battery swap during the day. We are looking to partner with other players in the industry, since quite a few people are doing swap stations around Africa, and this can definitely bring down costs for us. Yeah, I think that's the last one. Emmanuel, you asked, did you do it? Yes, we did.
Oh, sorry. I think that was about the about the interpretation. But I saw Sine asked a question about who's responsible for the maintenance of the bikes, and does the responsibility change when ownership changes?
Great question, Sina. When we give riders the bikes, we tell them, bring your bike back to us every week, once a week for maintenance. We offer maintenance to the riders at no fee. So how we do it is the service is free, but in case they have any parts that being changed or upgraded, it's simply deducted from their savings. So we have a situation where riders are always incentivized to bring their bikes back to us. Also, when the rider gets to own their bicycles, they get to own bicycles that are still brand new and in great condition. Also, these riders end up learning and understanding how to fix our bikes. So a lot of them end up becoming technicians. After ownership of the bike changes, then the riders are entitled to 4 free services a year from us. This helps us learn our product even more, and it helps us catch issues early. Again, the riders are our biggest salespeople. Also, anyone who gets services from us, we always save some money for you. So anytime you pay for a service from us, around 25 to 50% of that will be saved. So a lot of services in our ecosystem are free, but they're prepaid for already by customers. Yes, Elizabeth? Okay, so I think that's everything for me. Now I'll hand it back to the team at Rise.
Thank you so much for this presentation. It was, yeah, super, super interesting. I saw someone also reached out in the chat about possibly adding your initiative to the infrahub.africa database. Yeah, I was in their session yesterday about innovative projects in Africa, and it seems like this would definitely be a fit for that. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing the story with us. It's super inspirational. And I'm sure, yeah, everyone's, well, I feel like I've learned a lot. My brain is like ticking over with like lots of ideas. So thank you so much for sharing this with us. And thanks to everybody for joining. And thank you to our interpreters for interpreting through the session. I saw that Sine has shared some links in the chat. We've got one more session for today. We've got a debrief at 3 o'clock where we're going to reflect on the themes that are coming out of the festival. And then we also have, we're doing like a social media storm tomorrow on Africa Day. So we've prepared a few social media cards that you can just download and share, or you can make your own posts. And it's basically just about sharing positive messages and ideas around Africa on Africa Day tomorrow. So I'm sure we all have something to say about that. So please join the storm, and you just have to use the hashtag Africa Day or hashtag Urban Possibilities to kind of connect into the campaign and make your post part of it. And then Sine has also shared a little survey in the chat as well. So just to take 2 minutes to complete that to provide some feedback for us, so we can always keep improving the festival. So I think we can close. Thank you so much again, George. It was really cool to hear your idea, and thanks everybody for joining. Bye.